Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video, folks. Today we are one more day away from the World Matchplay. Starts tomorrow for the Phil Taylor Trophy. 32 players will begin the Betfred World Matchplay with Luke Littler defending champion, start his bid for going back to back for the first time since Michael van Gerwen retained it in 2016, and Phil Taylor won it on 16 times on his illustrious career. So 4 matches to look forward to, folks. Josh Rock against Luke Woodhouse, Stephen Bunting against Niels Zonneveld, Luke Littler versus Niko and Nathan Aspinall versus Joe Cullen. Before you get into the YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and support the channel, and it's free to do. Let's kick off with the first match. Josh Rock versus Luke Woodhouse. The Winter Gardens Bonanza begins as Josh Rock faces Luke Woodhouse in the first round of the 2026 World Matchplay. Although his debut Premier League campaign was a one to forget for Josh Rock, the Northern Irishman has otherwise performed well in the big events this year, reaching the semi-finals of the UK Open, as well as the World Cup of Darts with Daryl Gurney, but unfortunately Gurney missed out on the match play by 750 quid. But you know, I felt sorry for Daryl not to qualify for the match play, but Dave Chisnell pipped him in the post. Right. Josh Rock, the world number 8, also claimed a European Tour title at the Austrian Darts Open a couple of months ago in May, and lost to eventual champion Luke Littler in the last 4 of the World Matchplay 12 months ago, when Littler hit a 9 darter along the way and then beat him by 17-14 or 17-15 or whether it is. So also Euro Tour winner recently, he scoped a Baltic Sea Darts Open at the end of May. Luke Woodhouse has been steadily working his way up the rankings over the past couple of years, but he has struggled to really showcase his talent on the grandest of stages. But the world number 18 has been a first round loser in each of their last 2 appearances in the World Matchplay. We expect it to be the same result this time, and they played each other. How many they played each other? They played each other. Right, they played each other. Okay. They played each other. They played each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They played each other 7 times, and it's currently it's currently 5-2 to Josh Rock. But I'm gonna go for an upset here to think Luke. I'm going with Luke Woodhouse actually. I'm going for Woody to win it 10-8 to knock out Josh Rock in the first round. And that is my tip to for a dark horse and have a bit of a run at in Blackpool. So second up, Stephen Bunting will take on Niels Zonneveld. Two-time world matchplay quarterfinalist Stephen Bunting takes on the Winter Gardens, one of the 4 debutantes, Niels Zonneveld, in the first round. Stephen Bunting has yet to really have his moment in 2026. He has been playing some decent darts of late, but the bullet has slipped to 9th in the PDC rankings. But he's undoubtedly a player that many would have looked forward to avoid the draw. But despite 2 previous quarter-final appearances at the World Matchplay, Bunting has also suffered a string of first-round exits at the Winter Gardens. Indeed, a 41-year-old has lost at the first hurdle on 7 of his previous 11 appearances at the celebrated tournament. Niels Zonneveld makes his World Matchplay debut after an excellent start to the year with The Dutchman, having made consecutive semi-finals on the European Tour in March, ranked inside the world's top 40, the 27-year-old has lost 5 previous matches against Bunting, and Bunting has a 5-0 lead. He has a good record against Zonneveld, including both this year, although he did push the Englishman close in those last 2 meetings. We like Bunting here, but Zonneveld is playing well enough to make this a competitive contest. But, you know, for me, Stephen Bunting is a slight favourite, but I'm going for Bunting to win 10 legs to 7. 10-7. Third up, defending champion, the world number 1, Luke Littler, has been running rampant in the big events this year. He opens up against the World Matchplay defence against another debutant, German Niko Sprinter. Having won every single major tournament he has entered in 2026, Luke Littler comes into the World Matchplay as the clear favourite to defend the title he won last year. The world number 1 has perfectly timed his form so far in 2026, so that his game in the overall shape for the big events, but it is expected to be no different in Blackpool for what is one of the flagship events in the PDC calendar. Up against the Nuke, he is a player who has become a more frequent participant in televised events over the past 18 months. Although Niko Sprinter will be making his debut at the Winter Gardens this year, the 26-year-old German does have a European Tour title to his name as well, when he won the Hungarian Darts Open last year. That got him into the event, of course, but lost narrowly 6-5 to Littler at Players Championship event last year, but the only previous meeting between the pair. However, this is completely different environment in front of the TV lights. The big crowd, in one in which Littler usually flourishes anything other than convincing victory for the world champion would be a surprise. I'm going for Littler to win, most 180s and highest checkouts. I'm going for Littler to win 10-5. And then the last match on Saturday tomorrow, Nathan Aspinall will face Joe Cullen. Nathan Aspinall has 7 matches in a row against the fellow Englishman Joe Cullen, with 2 good friends on the hockey, which includes a semi-final meeting at this very tournament 3 years ago. Nathan Aspinall has been underwhelming in majors so far this year, but the Winter Gardens hold fond memories for him, given that he lifted the Phil Taylor Trophy in 2023. But the Ass has not been beyond the second round since then, but he's more than capable of going a deep run should he find his A game in Blackpool. But indeed, it was Joe Cullen that Aspinall defeated in the semi-finals with that triumph of the World Matchplay campaign 3 years ago, although the pair have surprisingly only locked horns once since then. Cullen has had a few good runs in Players Championship events this year, but it's been a while since we saw him perform well on stage, but is clearly lacking confidence he had. But he looks like Aspinall's to lose, but they played each other various times, and it's currently probably 11-7 to Nathan Aspinall. Don't know that. 11-7 to Nathan Aspinall. But I'm going to go for the Ass here to win it by 10 legs to 7. That's my predictions then for the day 1 for the opening Betfred World Matchplay. And then let's move on to the World Cup final and third place playoff, which is France against England and Spain against Argentina. So, will the 2026 World Cup end with glory for Spain and Argentina? We've also have the games no one wanted to be part of the bronze final, where France and England will compete for third place on the podium. I've seen Argentina numerous times at this tournament, but compared to their teams of the past, but this is not an outstanding Argentina side, said BBC Sport expert Chris Sutton, one of the football experts. Still, you have to admire their fight and their aggression, but they fight like no other team to stay in games and win anywhere they can. They will throw everything they can at Spain. Of course, they have Lionel Messi too. Sutton, Nally, and user for the PDC News Predator game are predicting results of every game at this World Cup. 104 games has now completed, but the users will have an unsurmountable overall lead over 102. Right, Spain against England. The truth is, no one really cares about this game. Neither country really wants it, but you can imagine the mood in both camps, how deflated both sets of players are. They will probably just want to go home. And it is also very difficult to predict that because it is likely to be France reverses against England reverses, but it was France's best team against England's best. But I would expect this champ side to win his last game as boss after 14 years. I still haven't got over England's 2-1 defeat by Argentina, to be honest. I was raging. I was annoyed by that. But I think we will look back in this tournament that viewed what Thomas Tuchel did after going 1-0 ahead as one of the worst coaching areas we've possibly ever seen. But as an England fan, I'm going for France to win 2-1. But I would love England to probably upset the French. I say football's coming home. But sorry, I'm going to go with France. Yeah, just. Right, World Cup final. Fair play to Argentina and their manager, Lionel Scamflol. Leany, for the way they turned their semi-final around. But they smelt blood and they put England away. I've seen enough from Argentina in this World Cup. I think that they've been slightly fortunate to get this far. But as the Radio 5 live commentary, Ian Dennis said about the adversity they have come through, but maybe this is one of the tournaments where their name is written on the trophy. I still fancy Spain strongly to beat them. However, they've not been behind in any of their 7 games at this tournament so far. But if you look at the way they beat France in their semi-final, they absolutely dismantled them 2-0. When I look at their team beforehand, I thought they would struggle in the full-back areas against France's wizardry. I was wrong. Not only did they not fully France's fantastic attack, they've absolutely played them off the park. It was near perfect performance. I suppose the only question is, can they do it again? I'll be at the Meet Life Stadium for Live 5 Live, and I can't wait to find out. Right, I'll be at Blackpool. I'll be at Blackpool just probably just watching on my phone, of course, Spain against Argentina. I think it will see a similar setup from Argentina to the way they played in the first half against England. In that, they will defend deep, defend their box and pick their moments to attack. I would love Argentina to go for Spain the way they finished the game against England, but they will know they will get their picked off if they do that. Instead, they will fight. I mean that is a compliment because I cannot think another team where they are so flexuous and aggressive in the way they play so close to the edge. In a positive way, they wear the jersey seems to mean that so much to every single one of their players that's it elevates them. Argentina will also be full of confidence after the way they've got here. They may well feel like they are untouchable, but I still think Spain have got a better team who play the best football. Also, Spain will not do what England did if they get in front, but they will retreat it. But instead, they have that belief when they don't panic, and they've always know what they are doing with the next pass. Lionel Yamal has not really got going for Spain yet in this tournament. I thought he was our worst player against France. Although I need to qualify that statement by explaining by the performances was so good, but the bar was really high. He was still probably at a 7 out of 10, but you watch him and think there is so much more to come, and that might happen in the final because we know what he's capable of, but Spain will not be relying on him to win. But to go through their side, so many players at the very top of their game. For example, Pedro Porro looks unrecognisable to the player we've seen for Tottenham, while Rodri looks like he's back to his physical best for after hereditary lineman injury that kept it out for the most of 2024-25 season. How do you mean at a team who are so confident that their build-up play is better than your press? Argentina will know they can't match them like that. The first goal is going to be absolutely crucial. Maybe it will be another magic Messi moment that gives his team the lead, but some hope. But whatever happens, Spain will dominate the ball, but they just will. But for different reasons, I love watching both teams play. Argentina will bring chaos, but Spain will bring calm, and calmness will win the day. And I think the Spanish will beat Argentina 2-1. And I think Victor Munoz will score some brace anyway, because I think he signs for Liverpool. He'll make his Premier League debut, and I'm really looking forward to him for the next probably few months or so to see how he gets on in the Premier League. Right, so that's my predictions then for the day one of the Betfred World Matchplay, and for the World Cup final and third place predictions. Leave on comments below, and I'll see you in the next one tomorrow for day 2 for the World Matchplay on Sunday. Bye. Peace out.